Hello, everybody. How are you doing today? My name is Tony Rizano, and you are listening to another episode of the world famous, the University Love, the best podcast in 1, 2, 3 galaxies. But, ladies and gentlemen, you and I, we just call this show Online Marketing Moves, and we are coming to you live today. Today is September the 9th, 2024, ladies and gentlemen. A week ago, I said the past episodes are going to be taken down. They will be taken down by September the 16th. Then September the 16th, we will add on all our other podcasts. I got a little behind this week, but September the 16th, we will have everything systems a go. Now, ladies and gents, we have something very important to talk about today. If you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe to the YouTube channel, subscribe to the podcast, subscribe to the YouTube channel, subscribe to whatever, and we will get rocking and rolling. Okay, now today we are going to talk about something very important, as I've already repeated about 2 or 3 times. Today we are going to discuss marketing goofs. Okay, now, and I bring this up because I saw one yesterday. I didn't watch football yesterday. Don't really watch it as often as I used to, and so I just saw somebody post something a lot. They said, Kendrick Lamar was going to host the halftime show in the at the Super Bowl, and so I thought to myself, "Where's the Super Bowl going to be?" And I looked down, and I saw it was going to be in New Orleans, and I thought to myself, I know the Super Bowl, they don't always have to do this, but I thought to myself, in New Orleans, they have all types of and it seems to me that the NFL has definitely gone towards the hip hop side of things, and so if you think New Orleans, you think Lil Wayne, and you would think, hey, Lil Wayne's gonna have all the New Orleans, the New Orleans people from the Cash Money, the No Limit, the Big Fridas, all these people, all these musicians and artists from New Orleans. You could have one heck of a show, just any just musician out, rapping out, whatever kind of out. And so you would think, like, if we're going towards the hip hop way, okay, Lil Wayne, New Orleans, I mean, but no, they chose Kendrick Lamar, which is fine. I never listened to the halftime show anyway. It's stupid to me, but as a marketing, I guess they're trying to go with whoever is the hottest right now, which I don't know. But a lot of times the Super Bowl, you think about, a person who has and maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm out of touch. Maybe not. But I just think this was a layup, and I think the NFL blew it. And I think this is a marketing goof. I know the NFL, they've been fumbling the ball a lot. But when you are such a big entity and you don't feel that fumble, it takes a while. If you shoot an arrow inside a smaller person, if you shoot an arrow toward the smaller person and you hit them, they're gonna fall down quickly. So it's like this. It's like being a small business owner. One bad thing and it could wreck your whole. It could wreck your whole thing. Pipes burst. Inside your place, a business, inside your restaurant. You might not have insurance. You might not have the funds to cover it because restaurant margins are razor thin, and so you have to shut down, and you have to sell. You have to try to do something, and so that happens. But when you're a big old corporation like a Walmart and Amazon, the NFL, you shoot them arrows, but it takes a while for it to fall. And so the NFL, to me, the last few years has not done a good job with their league. I mean, the games. I tried to watch the game last year. Everything. They just throw the ball up in the air, get a pass interference call. You can't really play defense. You can't tackle anybody. Somebody sent me a clip last night of a guy trying to hold up the punter, and they say if you knock them down, it's a penalty. It's an automatic penalty. And so the guy was literally trying to hold him up so he can, you know, so he could not get a penalty. And I'm thinking to myself, this is bananas. But this is it's just marketing goofiness, is at an all-time high. And we all make mistakes, and we all fumble things. But the NFL, they had a layup, and they blew it. Not sort of, but they blew it. Come on, they have clearly went to the hip hop side. I mean, I think Jay-Z took over a few years ago. I ain't seen anybody. I haven't seen Mick Jagger, none of them. Have you? No. I haven't seen any rock and roll people. I haven't seen anybody. I've seen 50 Cent. I've seen Drake. I saw Usher last year. So I mean, but you would think, in New Orleans, you have all these people you could, Harry Connick Jr., Lil Wayne, Big Frida, get some local flavor into the Super Bowl. Because the Super Bowl has never been, really about it's about New Orleans and the Super Bowl sort of go hand in hand because it's a big party, and New Orleans is a great place to go to have a great time, to have a party, And so you would think the Super Bowl, especially if it's in New Orleans, they would try to give it as much local flavor because they're always going to go to New Orleans. They're always going to go to New Orleans. New Orleans will always get the Super Bowl every. They should get a Super Bowl every few years. Certain places, they just have a feel for the Super Bowl. They should get a Super Bowl like every few years. I think Las Vegas, New Orleans, Miami, places like that. I just think those type of places should host like big events like that because there's a lot of people that come. There's a lot of people that want to do things. I mean, they've had the Super Bowl in Detroit. It's pretty cold, so you really can't. The people really can't walk around and enjoy it. And you would just think, the marketing goof, and you want to, you don't want to be on the side of marketing. Too many marketing goof ups, and you will not get to where you want to go. Because listen, our budget is not like the NFL's. Okay, you and I, we have a smaller budget, slightly smaller budget, and so we need to be dynamic when it comes to marketing. You want to, of course, you want to get as much. You can get as much free publicity as you can. God bless you. Do that. Okay. You're gonna eventually want to pay for attention. Pay to get paid. Eventually, you are going to want to pay for commercial time. Whether it be newspaper, internet, does not matter. But in the beginning, you always want to get as much free publicity as you can. But one thing you don't want to do is you don't want to goof it up. If you have an opportunity to be on like somebody's a bigger platform, jump on it. Okay, jump on it. Do that. If you have a chance to work with somebody and they have a bigger name, like I was just emailing this guy today from LinkedIn. I was telling him, he wrote me a letter. He said he wanted to be on the show, and it took me a while to respond because at that time it was like 2 or 3 weeks. I was just out and about every day with my daughter, potty training. every day, every day, every day. And I didn't realize that potty training is effing hard. Okay, it is a lot of work. They don't want to go. Some days they don't want to go. Some days they want to go. It's you know, wake up. Who am I dealing with? We it's been about a month, and it's finally coming around to where now it's just like boom, boom, boom. So now I can get back to really focusing on what I need to do. But I wrote the guy a letter. I said, hey man, I'm trying to potty train my child, because I thought I do need to get guests. We do need to get more guests on the show. I've talked about this before. If you listen to it, and I both know that we need to get more guests. We need to do more topics. We need to do more things to bring in a bigger audience, of course. And so I was like, man, I don't want to lose this guy as a potential, interview on the podcast. So I wrote a note and said, hey man, potty training, I don't want to goof it up. And so you want to avoid making too many marketing goofs, okay? And one thing, if you do the best thing you can do, so you won't make marketing goofs, is research. The more you research, the better off you will be. The more information that you get about the customer, kind of customer you want, who you want to serve, who do you want to deal with, the better off you will be. You have to laser focus about who do you want to work with, who do you want to talk to, who do you want to deal with. Listen, everybody's not your customer. We both know that. You know that. I know that. We all know that. You are not everybody's customer. You know that. I know that. Okay. Listen. It's the reason why more and more people are trying to market towards rich people. You know why? Because rich people have money. Rich people are willing to spend money. People with money are willing to, just plump it down. I drove Lyft in the past, and one thing about it, I always laugh at somebody gets in the car. I already know if I'm getting a tip or not from the way they dress, the way they look, the way they talk. You just sort of know where are they going, what are they doing. People that are going to work, most of those people, they're not leaving a tip. The people that you can tell they on the phone, it'll say like 400, 500 rides. You're not getting the tip. The people that are going out to the bar, going to the club, hey, we're going to have a good time. A lot of times, maybe not now, but a lot of times they would give you a couple bucks. It's very rare that I didn't know who I was getting into the car, who was going to tip and who was not going to tip. Okay, you just know what you know, and you have to study the market. I don't care where you're at, what do you I don't care what are you doing. You want to study your market. When I was driving trucks over the road, I always knew this place is going to be a long time. If I went to a grocery warehouse, I was going to be there 2 or 3 hours. So I would say, well, I could stay up a little longer tonight, and then tomorrow I will take a nap while I'm sitting there waiting at this place. Okay? Certain places, you just knew they was going to take a long time. Certain places, you knew they wasn't going to take a long time. It's called research, and you want to do the most research possible. I've been building up a swipe file for my copywriting services, and so I've been printing out stuff every day for the last 3 months, and we got a pretty good stack going around here, and I was just flipping through things, and a lot of times, a lot of the things the copywriters will tell you is, do your research, do your market research. Who do you want to talk to? Who are you targeting? Who do you want to sell to? Who do you want to talk to? And the reason why you want to do that, the better research you are, the easier it is for you to get these sales. You can write the most amazing. I'm gonna tell you something right now. You could write the most amazing letter. You could write the most. You could write the most amazing letter. You can write the most amazing things, and some people are not gonna respond to them, and that's just the way it is. It's not a big deal. It's just the way it is. Okay, it's not about you. One thing you have to think about this marketing and selling and servicing the people. It's not about you, okay? It's not about you. It's not about, listen, we all think I'm a charming son of a bitch. We all think that. Or people think, oh, I could talk my way into anything. Not really. You're gonna be some people and they're just gonna be resistant and they're not gonna want to buy it. It doesn't matter if you give them a million bonuses, 2 million bonuses, you can give them whatever. Some people are not going to budge. It's just the way it is. But the more you know who you want to talk to, how do you want to talk to them, what do you want to do, where do you want to go from there, the better off you will be. And you can avoid the marketing goose like the NFL. Look, the NFL, they have a big budget, Um, they show Taylor Swift every game. They are good for right now. Okay, there's gonna come a time where Taylor Swift is not gonna be at these football games. You know what I mean? Her boyfriend is going to eventually retire in a couple years, and he will not be on the field. And then they would have to go film Doja Cat or whoever the big pop star is of the day. Okay, but the NFL, they can afford marketing goose. Amazon can afford marketing goose. Walmart can afford them. A lot of people can afford them. You listening to this podcast, you can afford marketing goose. So you want to study. Very boring stuff, but it has to be done. It has to be done. All right. And ladies and gentlemen, that is it. We will be back tomorrow with all new episode of Online Marketing Moves. But until then, my name is Tony Rizzano. Thank you for listening. God bless. And as always, everybody, peace.